There we go. And this time I started with my headphones on. Yep, this Wake and Bake with Skinny. I'm like a minute early, so y'all are just gonna have to deal with that. At a no location today. Uh, just hanging out on the balcony here. Just hanging out, doing my thing. Getting ready to do some other things. Hopefully. I don't know if I want to do dabs. I don't think I want to do dabs this morning. I think I want to go a little old school. I think that's what I want to do. Let's go old school. Alright, let's see here. Should have some herbage in my one hitter here. I also got one of these. They call them dugouts or one hitters. But it's just this little thing and it's got a little container. And you got your little cigarette bat here. And it's sharp on the edges, so you just basically fill this part up with weed, and then whenever you want to hit, you just push down, turn, pull out, hit it, and you're good to go. I use this a lot when I'm hiking. It's actually very convenient. But right now, I don't want to use it because it is a pain in the butt to use sometimes, and just not all that great sometimes. Let's see here. Dibba dibba da. I don't know if Mecca or anybody's going to join with us today, but if anybody wants to join up and you're on Discord, just let me know and I'll give you a call or we'll jump on a voice channel together and that way you can come on and chat with me. Um, I don't have them. They're downstairs. I did get the prints yesterday. I tweeted a photo of them. Have not updated the Kickstarter yet about that, but they can wait. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean I'd rather wait because uh, here next week they're supposed to be shipping the metal trading cards on the 5th, which is Friday. That's what I was told. So I'm expecting them to get here either that Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. So anywhere between the 8th and the 10th is when I should get those. But that's why I said they can wait. I would rather just wait for the metal trading cards to get in before I update the Kickstarter because they already Kickstarter already people already know that the prints are coming in yesterday. I've already told them that. They don't need to see pictures of the art that they've already seen. But I did get some bags for them too. I wanted to be on the safe side, so I bought 9 by 12-inch Ziploc. Well, they're not Ziploc brand, but they have the Ziploc at the top. Bags for the prints because they're larger than comics. I originally advertised them as being, I think, 7 by 11. I don't know what I was thinking, but I ended up just printing them out as 8 by 12s. I don't know why I thought 7 by 11. I think I was thinking about like 11 by 17. And then I switched it around to 7 by 11. I'm not really sure. My wife did this too. Oh, that was kind of fucking genius. Well, she didn't do this, but she originally, excuse me, she originally hooked the lighter leash to our old bong, which didn't really, which ended up getting broken by the cats because they knocked it over. So on this one, I went ahead and we didn't have anywhere to clip it to. So my idea was actually putting the hair tie on here, so we'd have somewhere to clip this to. But what what I like about it is how versatile it is because I can keep that lighter down at the bottom if I want to, kind of out of the way. Or on the other hand, I could bring it up all the way up to the top. And you're asking yourself, Skinny, why would you want to do that? Well, when you're out on a dinghy or a boat, you get water in the boat. The first time we took our water bong out on the lake, which was really funny, by the way, because we were packing up everything. Um, as we were packing up everything, I was like, I got the bong. And Aubrey's like, well, don't we need water? I was like, for what? She's like, for the bong. And I just looked at her really funny. I'm like, where do you think we're going? She says, to the lake. And I said, and what do you think we're going to be surrounded by at the lake? Water? And then she felt kind of stupid, which, But she was shocked. She's like, well, won't lake water taste bad in the bong? I was like, baby, it's bong water. People like fucking spit and loogies and all kinds of stuff gets in there. Like, I don't know. I'm not, uh, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say I'd happily smoke out of a dirty bong with really nasty bong water, but like, the quality of the water, isn't really important when you're using it to filter, uh, smoke. So, I'm not saying like even though this looks dirty, this is clean. You can see it's fucking crystal clear. It's just stained from all the other times we was smoking. I do suggest for anybody who does like smoking out of a bong or would like to start. My first piece of advice: never leave your water in your bong. After you're done using it, just pour that shit out. It's water. You can put it back. But the thing is that I see some people, and this does bug me when I was talking about the quality of the water, is when people leave water in their bong for so long, it you basically start to form a civilization inside with like algae and shit. That is fucking nasty. I hate seeing that. This is just resin here. This isn't bad. This cleans up with either Coke, vinegar, alcohol, whatever. And also, if you are getting your first bong, don't get one of those fancy ones with all the twists and turns and shit. Just get a typical beaker style. If you see these and you're wondering what those are actually ice catchers, so I can't turn it so you can see it. But anyways, they're just little divots. There's four of them. No, there's three. I'm sorry, I thought there was four. But anyways, they just kind of poke inside and it'll catch any big hunks of ice. You just drop down in here if you want cold smoke. I don't recommend ice. I know some people say it makes it smoother. For me, it makes it more harsh. I don't know what it is, but if you ever, during the winter, just go from your warm house and then walk outside where it's colder. You don't even have to walk, just stick your head out the door and take a deep breath of cold air. And tell me if you start coughing or not. Because for me, cold air has always been like, I don't know, it's always been an irritant to some degree. I don't like breathing hot air sucks too, but like really cold air, like I don't know. Like the kind of cold that makes your nuts shrink up a little bit. Maybe my lungs are shrinking up a little bit too. But I don't particularly care for it. Every once in a while, I'll do the ice chamber just for shits and giggles, and I'm an idiot. But mostly no. But yeah, like I said, if you aren't into the bong thing and you want to start, just beaker style. These are usually fairly cheap. Make sure it's thick glass in case somebody drops it or you drop it. And a great habit to get into is every time you're done using it, pour out your water. Uh, but yeah, not a whole lot's going on. Like I said earlier, different location. Um, because we also do a lot of we're sitting some pets for some friends. So we're hanging out with their dog and their cats and stuff like that while they're out of town for over a week. It's good to do that. It's good to think about your pets like that too. I know some people just leave forever, just leave their pets, and that always bothered me. Like pets get lonely, man. Like at least have somebody stop and check in on them at the very least. I know it's hard, and I know not everybody can just pay somebody to come over and play with your dog or whatever, but if you can, really try to because it really helps your dog, especially with dealing with people being away. If you're not careful, you're gonna end up with an animal that has severe anxiety and what what am I thinking about? Abandonment issues. My mom let her dogs get that bad at one point, and every time she would leave the house, it was ear piercing, just screeching, yelping, yada yada yada. But anyways, we're pet sitting for some people we know, so they're nice. The animal, I'm out on the balcony right now. She's actually down here like 15 feet below me, but she's a big old fluffy doggo. I don't know dog breeds. I kind of looked like an idiot the other day when we were like out on the sandbar, and there were folks around and stuff, and my wife was like, "Oh, do you know what kind of dog breed that is?" And I just looked at her. I was like, "What?" And she's like, "You know what kind of dog breed that is?" And I was like, "Oh, it's the kind with four legs." She's like, "No, seriously." I'm like, "It's the kind with fur." She's like, "No, come on, man." I was like, "Dude, I don't know dog breeds. I really don't. There's a few select ones that I know just because you kind of see the names and stuff pop up in popular media and whatnot, like Chihuahua. I know what that is. Yokiro Taco Bell. Um, but I'm not really that knowledgeable. Like a dog is a dog to me. I see no difference between like the big ass fucking wolf looking huskies. I see no real difference between them and the little fucking wiener dog dudes. Like a dog is a dog to me. I never really put much thought into learning, uh, or even having a preference of breed. There are certain breeds that I really don't like, though. I'm not really a fan of the beagles. They're really good dogs, but holy shit, they're really fucking loud, bro. Like I've had beagles, and like you wouldn't even do anything to them. Like they would just get scared. No physical interaction, but they would still yelp, and it would sound like somebody was outright just stabbing that dog to death. And it's like if you have a beagle, be prepared for your neighbors to be probably calling the law once in a while for animal cruelty because that's what it's going to sound like. It won't actually be like that because those dogs are just really fucking loud and really whiny. But beyond a certain breeds like that, like the reason why I know the beagle is because I know I fucking hate those dogs. Well, not hate them, but I hate what they do. Like if you can find me a quiet beagle, I will love that dog. But the challenge is to find a quiet beagle. I get dogs bark and stuff, but these guys are just oof. I like talking dogs. Bella, the dog we're watching, she's just like this big white floof ball, and she's pretty big. I mean, she's about medium size for a dog, just under large. But she's just a big white floof, and she likes to ooh at us and stuff like that. I like dogs that talk like that because you can kind of talk back to them, and no, nobody probably understands what the other one's saying, but it's still interesting. It's still fun. Still kind of cool. I don't know if I'm going to do a full stream today. I really don't have a whole lot to talk about. There's not a lot going on. I'm still waiting on the prints and stuff. Let's see. I've talked enough about Otis Stein issue 3. You know, that's coming up. There were some delays, but we're getting that sorted. I got all the boring stuff, all the. And this is just my luck, too. Like, within, I think, about maybe a day of putting in my order for all the Gemini mailers, Eric Hawkins is like, hey, I have a discount code. I'm like, you son of a bitch. I really do appreciate it. Anybody looking for Gemini mailers, check out Eric Hawkins' YouTube. I forget his channel name or his show name because I don't watch any of this stuff. And I don't watch comic stuff on YouTube normally. Um, it's nothing personal against anybody, but if I'm watching YouTube, I'm probably watching either a lot of audits, a lot of true crime, Mad Lads by Count Dankula. I watch some Red Letter Media occasionally. I don't watch the popular movies that they review. Really, I kind of I like watching them because I end up finding about the movies that you really don't hear about. Like I think the last good one that I watched from them was called Windfall, and it was actually a really good movie, and I enjoyed it. So I try to watch them for recommendations on movies that just no average person isn't talking about. But beyond that, I don't do much on there. I use YouTube for music a lot. Uh, but no, I just don't watch any comic stuff, and I don't watch any streams. And well, there is one stream that I'll watch if I'm able to, and I will always watch Doug streams if I can. Doug Garrett, not Doug TeNaple or Doug Ernst. The only Doug that matters to me, Doug Garrett. Nothing against the other guys, but Doug's my boy. And that's just how it is. It's kind of cool out here today. It's really overcast and cloudy. You can't really tell. There's really no sun. Uh, but it said no rain, but there's a little bit of drizzle out here. Just a tiny little spritz, you know, not a whole lot. Uh, Carlos and I were talking about the future of Otis Stein for at least next year. And so far, our plan um, is going to have issue 4 done by March, issue 5 by June or July. I think it's July, or it may be June. Yeah, it's June. So March, June, and September. So right now, um, you know, if we end up magically suddenly starting to like take off and we're bringing in the capital where I can afford to pay Carlos to work more, then, you know, we'll do more. But right now, as is, we're kind of sitting at planning to do 3 issues a year. That pretty much gives us about a 32-page book every 4 months. So we'll be pretty consistent. But I'm going to try to keep them towards the center. What I mean by that is like I want to try to keep all 3 releases within this window, which would, I guess you could call the Kickstarter season. So basically, around April, I want to be funding books between April and October. So we'll have all 3 of those books just kind of crammed in there, and then the other half of the year, you know, towards, you know, winter and coming out of winter, that's just going to be for us to take some time off, or if we want to work on some other projects, we may look into that. But I don't want us to get burnt out. I don't want him to get burnt out. And we're both working, you know, full-time jobs plus what we're doing here. So 3 books a year, that sounds pretty good to me. Right now the plan is we'll launch issue 3 here pretty soon, and then following up with that next year, probably around March or April, is when we'll launch issue 4. And I'm still in the air about it. This isn't a guarantee. but I'm looking into doing a limited print hardcover trade for which compiles issues 1 through 3. Otherwise, it'll just be a regular trade paperback. You won't be able to get the single issues anymore unless you buy them from Amazon because I am not printing single issues anymore. That is too many books to keep up with. I'll handle 3 single issues at a time. That's it. Anywhere from 1 to 3. So, once issue 1 and 3 are in that first volume, no more reprints of them. Like I said, unless you're buying the book off of Amazon, or if I happen to put it on another print on demand site, you could still do it that way. But I won't be printing more issues. And, that's not set in stone either, but it's pretty damn close to it. Let's just say it's set in clay, and it might be put in the oven here pretty soon. But like I said, I don't think I'm going to do a whole stream this time. I don't have too much to talk about today. Today's just kind of one of those bleh days. I always get kind of when it's overcast and kind of, I don't know. The weather affects my mood. I don't know. I'm sure it does for other people. But it definitely does for me. Rainy days like this just make me kind of want to take a nap. I'm doing really good though. Like I'm not depressed or anything. It's just one of those days where it's just in a fog. It's nothing bad. It's nothing like that. I think we all have those days, and I think some people get those mixed up with depression, where there's a difference between being drained and being depressed. And some people don't know that, or maybe they do. I don't know. I'm just some redneck. What do I know about anything beyond redneck things? Like, I can teach you how to make a pipe out of an apple. I'm also thinking about, I think I talked about this not yesterday, but the day before, about doing that video where I go through and make a comic and allow everybody else to kind of walk through and follow my steps, and hopefully they come out with similar results. I'm still thinking about that. That is going to take a lot more work because that's actually going to be stuff where I actually have to plan it out and script it out, and I'm just not really good at things like that. Especially with the comic, that sucks up a lot of my time, and so does being married and the job. And I'm trying to find time to do this, and I think I'm doing pretty good about it. With the exception of yesterday, but I was going into work early yesterday to make more money. So, fuck YouTube if I can make more money. Unless YouTube decides to suddenly, blow me up in the algorithm and send me over the fucking top. YouTube's not going to make me any money. But anyways, we've been on for, I don't know, about 20, 25 minutes, something like that. So I will catch you guys on the flip side. I'm going to head out of here. I'm going to debate on whether or not I should just take a nap before I go into work. Just, Anyways, hope everyone's good. Remember, taxation is theft. The ATF is a domestic terrorist organization. Every single senator, congressman, and representative who voted in favor of any gun legislation is breaking, I believe, the 14th Amendment by rebelling against the Constitution, and they should all be removed. Yeah, that's pretty much it, yeah. Oh, President Joe Biden is unfit to be president. That too. Mentally and physically unfit.